Hey everybody, in this video I want to talk to you about Slack. I think a lot of people have hesitation to move over Slack because of the difficulty in learning of the systems, but it's a lot easier than everybody thinks. So let's just get into it and I'll kind of show you everything you need to know. Okay, you ready for how easy this is? All you are going to do is go to slack.com and hit the sign in button. Now T-Mobile has already registered every single T-Mobile address to the Slack server, so the only thing you're going to do is just sign in to your T-Mobile workspace URL, which is TMUS-TPR. After that, you're just going to use the same T-Mobile email address and the same T-Mobile password that you have been using to log in, and that is what's going to log you into Slack. Now, for whatever reason, you may end up having issues signing in, so once you hit the sign in button, underneath the continue button, you should see a find your workspace. You'll be able to enter your T-Mobile email address, it will send you over a confirmation email, and you should be able to log in that way. So first of all, let's kind of talk about this sidebar right here. I want to hop right into these direct messages right here. This is one of the cool things that we can end up doing here with Slack. So first of all, you can send direct messages to people one-on-one. The messages are going to stay forever, and if you end up sending files to anybody or anything, the messages are going to be here and they'll be permanent, and you'll be able to communicate one-on-one privately, and you won't have to actually text them or call them or anything. In fact, if you look over here and you see these little green circles, that means this person is online. So if you have the app on your phone, it's running in the background, or it's on your computer, you'll be able to be in touch with anybody while you're working, which makes it really nice for people to communicate with one another. Also, if you don't have a direct message already started, you can actually click this little button right here. It will take you to a place to find some of your employees. So let's say I want to send a message to Matthew Poe. So I will be able to find him and use do first name dot last name, and you'll be able to find them in the organization. And cool, found him, and I can end up hitting go. Now let's say for whatever reason I wanted to do a group chat with Landon. I don't know why I would do a group chat with both of them, but I can end up doing a group chat and add a few people. And now I'm doing a communication with just these two people, which makes it really nice. And I can type whatever messages. Now here's something cool that you can't do on other messaging apps and programs is delete. So whoops, I didn't mean to send these messages. I didn't mean to send these this group message. So let's delete this. Let's delete this, and let's get out of this group me, right? Let's leave conversation. Boom, no harm, no foul, right? That's pretty cool. So the messaging ends up being really useful for a lot of different reasons. Now, let's hop up to this little organizational channel right here. Essentially, both of these that you see here are posts that very specific people can post in. So you'll see there's 121,000 people that are in this group right now. But only a few people can actually post. But there's a lot of cool things that happens in T-Mobile, and you'll see those posts right here. Also, you'll have Slack tips up there, which is nice. Now, up here, these channels are the ones that you're going to be end up using, and it will end up growing over time. But and you'll see one up here that's starred. Essentially, it's just one of these channels. You just have to go this up here, hit star, boom, now it's in the stars section. But let's talk about these channels, because there's a lot of cool stuff that you can end up doing. So first of all, let me actually go to this temporary one I've been messing around with. Called TMS Training. This is a group that I created, but let's pretend it's a group that there's tons of people in, and kind of I can show you the benefits of what you can do in these groups, and kind of what you'll be doing in your own groups. But yeah, so first of all, let's talk about the messaging, all the stuff you can do with the messaging. So let's talk about this message right here. Not only can I add a little reaction to it, let's say I want to do some sort of a emoji or something, a thumbs up. It's not going to send it as a separate message. It's going to send it as a like a emoji or a reaction, I guess you'll call it, underneath the message itself. So that makes it kind of nice. Sometimes you'll see a flood of like images and infographics, or sorry, GIF images, or and you'll know that someone did something cool or there's something important going on because there's a lot of people reacting to it. But that makes it kind of nice. And then over here, reply to thread. That's also another big one, right? Let's say that you missed. There's a message that you're reading. You're going through your messages because you haven't been at work and like you had 2 days off, and there's something you want to talk about that was posted 65 messages ago. Well, now you can actually go to that message that was posted a long time ago. You can go to start thread. As you see here, I messaged a lot of jumble, but yeah, you can actually reply underneath that very specific message and have a conversation. So if there's like a promotion going on that somebody posts about and some people have questions, you can end up having a conversation with it below, and then maybe somebody else that has that same question can just hop into in fact, you'll see right here, and they can just hop into the replies and see what's going on. So that makes things a lot easier. Also, you can send this as a direct message to somebody, and you can star the message. So if the message is really important, it's nice, you can star it, and if you just go up here to show starred items, you'll see any messages that you've starred. So if there's ever like a cool link of like an article talking about how cool T-Mobile is, or there's something unique that you want to save for later and reference to later, you can just hit that little start button, and it makes it a lot easier than having to scroll through and try to find something that was posted a month ago. So that makes it kind of nice. And then also there's other options you can do, and I'll kind of let you hop into that. But let's also talk about, let's go into the channel settings and talk about the view channel details as well, because there's some cool things you can do in here. So first of all, highlights is nice. Now there's nothing to highlight in this channel because there hasn't been any activity in it. If I go over to the mobile source managers and go into the same highlight section, though, you will see essentially what this is anytime there's been a lot of engagement on a post, you'll see those posts here. So if there is something that's important to know, or something that is really cool that happened or whatever, you'll normally find that information under here. Pinned items is something that you can end up pinning specific items. In fact, you'll actually see it up here under view pin items. But it just shows you can end up pinning specific things. So if there's like a big change that happened, you can pin it to the channel, and then after like a month that it's been there, you can unpin it. But that way, like if it's really important, something that's really important in a channel that gets a lot of action in the message and a lot of back and forth, you don't want to scroll back like 60 messages and try to read something that may or may not have been important, and so it just makes it easier. So if you post something really important, you can just post it and pin it, and it'll be there for everybody to view. And then the next thing I want to talk about is shared files as well. Any file that gets posted, you'll actually be able to access at any time later. So if there is a cool video or a picture or a document or a PDF or anything like that that's shared, you'll always be able to go into the shared files. In fact, let's hop over. If it gets big enough, you'll end up clicking on this link. And here's the cool thing. You'll be able to not only see every single file that's ever been made on this channel, but you can actually look for any file that's made in any of the channels. And you can subcategorize, the people that posted it, the channel that it was posted in. You can even subcategorize the type of file that it is. So you can search really well in all of the posts that have been posted, which makes things so much easier than a lot of other programs. The last thing I want to talk to you about is this section up here, this search bar. Now, again, you can search through that the shared fileway for files, but let's say that somebody posted something about a SIM card count, and you're like, oh, when was that SIM card count? And you don't want to scroll and look for it. You can just go up here, type in SIM card, hit enter. Cool. Now every single message that has been posted that's talked about SIM cards is going to be posted in here. So if you scroll down to the very bottom, this will be the most recent thing talking about about SIM cards. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to mention, and I'll try to be really quick, is talking about the channels. So every single time you create a channel, the channel is automatically going to be a public channel. So if you see these little pound or hashtag symbols next to the channel name, it means it's public. If you see this little locked symbol next to the channel name, it means that that channel is private. Now you cannot create a private channel. In fact, an administrator has to create that channel private for you, and it's a little bit of a hassle. So what we ended up doing for you is we just created a store group for every single person in the company. So every store has a channel already created. It's going to be your store name plus your store number, and to look that up, it's super easy. You just end up going to the channels and you can just type in your store number, and you should be able to find it pretty quick. But once you are in this channel, we need to make sure that everybody's in it before the end of the month, because we are going to lock all of these channels by the beginning of November. And in fact, if you look in the T Nation News, you see there's 120,000 people in these channels in this organizational channel. So we don't want everybody to be able to access all of your stuff. So let's make sure every single person hops into their store by the end of the month, and then at the beginning of November, all of these stores will end up being locked down, and anybody in the store should be able to add and remove people at their will. So that is it. If there's any other questions that you end up having, you can contact your trainers, DMs, managers. We should be able to help you out. But that's it for me. Have a great one. Take care. Bye.